What are casting directors really looking for? Most actors think casting directors are looking for that perfect face, the perfect voice, the perfect body type, or the perfect performance. They're not. They're looking for you. Not the version of you that is trying to be someone else. Not the version of you that is trying to sound like a movie star. Not the version of you that is desperately trying to get the job. They're looking for the most truthful version of who you are. Hi, it's Dana O'Neill again. Welcome to episode 2 of Studio One Connecticut. There's only one person on earth with your life experiences, your voice, your humor, your fears, your strengths, your weaknesses, your memories, and your perspective. That combination has never existed before and will never exist again. The moment you stop trying to become someone else and stop presenting your authentic self, you become interesting. Truth is what books the role. Now let's talk about fear. Actors often believe they are the only people in the room who are scared. That is simply not true. The casting director is scared. They're worried they'll recommend the wrong actor. And the producer is scared. They're worried they'll spend money on the wrong project. And the director is scared. They're worried they won't be able to tell the story they envision. And the network executives are scared. They're worried the audience won't watch. Everyone involved is trying to make the right decision. Everyone is hoping, but a bad word, they get it right. And then you walk into the room. You have something they don't have. You have the ability to solve their problem. They're not there begging for a job. You are there presenting a solution. You are there offering your talent, your truth, your creativity, and your humanity. That changes everything. When actors approach auditions from desperation, they shrink. When actors approach auditions with confidence and service, they expand. Confidence doesn't mean believing you'll get every role. Confidence means believing you have something valuable to offer. It means trusting that your uniqueness is enough. The actor's job is not to control the outcome. The actor's job is to present the truth. When you bring honesty, preparation, imagination, and belief in yourself, you have already succeeded. Booking becomes a bonus. Remember this, the casting director needs you, the producer needs you, the story needs you. Your art matters, your voice matters, your perspective matters. And when you truly believe that, people can feel it. The actor who believes in themselves gives everyone else permission to believe in them too. So the next time you walk into an audition, don't ask, do they like me? Instead ask, am I courageously presenting who I really am? Because that is what casting directors are searching for. Not perfection, truth. I want to talk about something that may be more important than talent, more important than training, and even more important than having that perfect headshot. It's your mindset. Now, I've gone to many, many, many auditions, and I have seen so many great actors I've been on stage with, actors on film with me, they don't book. And some really bad actors that do. Again, it's your mindset. As actors, we spent years studying technique. We learn monologues, we learn scene study, we learn audition skills, but very few people teach us how to manage that space between our ears. And yet, that's where careers are built or destroyed. Let me give you an example. Two actors walk into the same audition. They have the same age range, the same type, similar training, similar experience. One actor walks in the room thinking, I'll never get this. There are probably actors here with more credits than me, The second actor walks in the room thinking, I belong here. The casting director wants me to succeed. I have something unique to offer. Whether I book this or not, I'm going to do my best work. Now, here's the interesting thing. The second actor isn't pretending. They're choosing a mindset that serves them. And guess which actor usually gives a stronger audition? The actor who believes they belong in the room. Casting directors can feel confidence, not arrogance, confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing who you are. The confidence that says, I have value. I have been in New York several times in audition rooms over the years, over the decades. I remember one time I was waiting in the waiting room for my audition, and people were coming out. I could see the expressions on their faces. I didn't get it. I didn't do good enough. Shit. But one actor came out that I'll always remember. Not handsome, not the best looking guy in the room. But behind him, as he left, he was leaving sort of in a hurry, was the casting director. And she had in her hand the unsigned contract saying, please sign it. Please sign this. I could tell that he had controlled the room. She was begging him to sign. And obviously he saw something in her that he didn't like. And he didn't sign it. What a reverse. Another audition I remember. There was a office building, and this floor had multiple places for people to audition. And I was in line waiting for my audition, and across the hall was an audition for Annie, for the show Annie. And lined up were probably 20 little girls with their mamas. And every one of them except for two had the little red dress on and the little red wig. And my little girl looks like Annie, so I guess she is Annie and she's going to get this part. That's not how it works. It's internal. The casting directors can look right straight through that. Don't overthink it. When actors tell themselves they're not good enough, they're not good enough. They overthink, they push, they try to impress, and the performance becomes mechanical. But when actors trust themselves, something changes. They listen, they respond, they become present, and that's when the magic happens. Let's talk about agents. I can't tell you How many actors send out submissions believing nobody will ever respond? They submit to 10 agents expecting 10 rejections, and they get exactly what they expected. Not because the universe is punishing them, but because their mindset influences their actions. They send weaker cover letters. They follow up less often. They quit too soon. They stop believing before they even begin. Now compare that to the actors who believes. There is an agent out there looking for someone exactly like you. That actor sends better submissions, keeps improving, keeps networking, keeps training, keeps showing up, and eventually somebody does notice. Not because they got lucky, because they stayed in the game long enough to be found. Let's talk about booking roles. Every successful actor has heard the word no thousands of times. Not dozens, thousands. The difference is that successful actor doesn't interpret rejection the same way. Most actors hear no and think, I'm not talented. Successful actors hear no and think, not this one, next. That's mindset. One mindset creates quitting, the other creates persistence. And persistence creates careers. One of the greatest mistakes actors make is believing that booking a role will suddenly make them confident. But confidence doesn't come after success. Confidence often comes before success. You have to believe in yourself before the evidence appears. You have to trust your talent before the booking. You have to see yourself as a professional before anyone else does. Think about your favorite actors. At some point, every one of them was unknown. Every one of them had moments when nobody was calling. Nobody was offering roles. Nobody was applauding. The only thing they had was belief. Belief in themselves. Belief in their work. Belief that they belonged. And that's what I want for you. Let's talk about some of those famous actors. Perhaps the most famous manifestation story in Hollywood is Jim Carrey. Carrey has repeatedly told the story of writing himself a check for $10 million for, quote, acting services rendered, unquote, years before he became a huge star. He dated it to Thanksgiving in 1995 and kept it in his wallet while struggling as a comedian. Later, he earned around that amount for Dumb and Dumber. He has also spoken about visualization and gratitude extensively. Quote, this is a Jim Carrey quote, I would visualize things coming to me, unquote. Oprah Winfrey has openly discussed intention setting, gratitude journals, prayer, visualization, the law of attraction. She frequently credits mindset and spiritual alignment for her rise from poverty to becoming one of the most influential women in media. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold talks constantly about visualization before becoming a bodybuilding champion, movie star, and governor. He said he mentally rehearsed success repeatedly. He has described seeing himself as a movie star years before Hollywood accepted him. Lady Gaga. Before fame, Gaga reportedly repeated affirmations like, "Music is my life. Music is my destiny." Friends have spoken about how intensely she believed she would become famous before it happened. She used self-talk and identity affirmations long before worldwide recognition. Denzel Washington. He often combined faith, prayer, discipline, expectation, and purpose. He famously encouraged people to dream big dreams. Jennifer Lopez has spoken about affirmations and positive self-belief decades. She has said, "Thoughts become things." She often discusses confidence rituals and mentally claiming success before achieving it. Steve Harvey strongly promotes vision boards, writing goals down, speaking success aloud, faith-based manifestation. He frequently tells audiences to place their goals where they can see them daily. As we together continue this journey of knowing yourself as an actor, I'd like to introduce a deeper idea that has influenced millions of people through the books such as The Secret and Ask and It Is Given. At its heart, it's a simple question. What if you're more than what you think you are? Many spiritual traditions teach that we are not merely physical beings having occasional spiritual experiences. Instead, they suggest that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. They teach that there is a larger intelligence, a creative force, a divine source. Some call it God, the universe, infinite intelligence, or consciousness itself. The idea is that we are not separate from this source. We are expressions of it. If that's true, then perhaps the actor's greatest challenge is not becoming somebody else. Perhaps the actor's greatest challenge is remembering who they truly are. Books like The Secret and Ask and It Is Given suggest that our thoughts, emotions, expectations, and beliefs are constantly shaping our experience of reality. They teach that what we constantly focus upon tends to expand our lives. Now, whether you take these teachings literally or symbolically, there is tremendous value for an actor. Think about it. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not talented enough, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'll never get cast," and your mind begins searching for evidence that those statements are true. But what if? What if? What happens when you begin telling yourself a different story? What happens when you wake up each day and say, "I am an actor. Opportunities are coming. I am improving. I am growing. I belong in this business"? Your brain starts looking for evidence of those beliefs instead. Some spiritual teachers go even further. They suggest that reality contains layers or dimensions beyond what we normally perceive. Not necessarily places we travel to physically, but levels of awareness, states of consciousness, and possibilities that become available when our thinking changes. As actors, we understand this better than most people. Every character lives in a different world. Every scene exists in a different reality. Every performance asks us to step beyond our ordinary identity. Perhaps the actor's training is not just learning lines and hitting marks. Perhaps it is learning to move between possibilities. Learning to imagine a future so clearly that your mind and body begins preparing for it before it arrives. Learning to feel success before success appears. Learning to know, K-N-O-W. Learning to know before evidence exists. That is what many great performers have done throughout history. They saw themselves on stage before they ever stood on one. They believed in their abilities before anyone else did. For now, I simply invite you to consider the possibility that there is more to you than your current circumstances, more talent than you've expected, more courage than you discovered, more opportunities than you've imagined. And perhaps the first step toward becoming the actor you want to be is not asking, can I do it? Perhaps the first step is asking, what if I already contain everything necessary to become it? Before continuing, I want to tell you a little about myself. The 10 people, the 10 students, the 10 actors that I choose will learn much more about this process and about me and the possibilities. As I speak today, I am 76 years old. Last year, my wife and I were sitting in a restaurant and I was reading the Gazette, and in it was auditions for Harvard's Got Talent, Harvard, Connecticut. And as I read it, I knew that I was going to win. Again, I'm 76 years old. I followed the instructions, filled out the application. I went to the audition. I got selected. I participated in the semifinals and won second place. Won thousands of dollars, and during the finals, I won again second place and won more thousands of dollars. When I got cast for New Amsterdam, I knew before it happened. It doesn't work just in my acting, but in my life. 6 weeks ago, I walked down the aisle at Central Connecticut State University and received my 5th college degree, a master's in business administration. I have 3 agents. I have a manager. I'm doing a podcast. This year, I've written 3 plays. Some of them have been in competitions across the state. I landed a new job at 76. I'm only saying this to prove that manifestation, affirmations, vision boards work. I have profound experiences that I can tell you about if you are one of the 10. Next week, episode 3, we are going to go beyond knowing yourself, and we're going to learn about the business of acting. Now, a lot of you already know most of this, but I want to cover it here. And I am going to give the basics, and then if you are part of the 10, we'll go beyond that. But your exercise today is to continue to learning more about yourself, to move forward. Happy manifesting. Dana O'Neill, Studio One Connecticut.